Hello everybody, I'm Lana Eagleton. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth analysis at the song Perfect Weapon by Black Veil Brides. So we're going to really dive into detail with this song. We're going to be looking at the individual bass tracks, guitar tracks, vocal tracks, and drum tracks. All of these isolated parts that come together to make up the song and the piece of music that you know today. So it's going to be really interesting. I got a lot to show you guys. Be sure to stick around. Let's get started. All right, so to start off, let's look at the intro of this song. So it comes in real heavy right off the top, doesn't get much heavier than that. Andy executes this perfect scream right away. Let's hear that soloed. Pretty epic, and it's held for so long too. I think it's held for like over 10 seconds. So, you know, that's super impressive. So the other thing I want to showcase right off the top is the guitar riff. What I love is the way it's arranged between the two guitars. So in the left speaker, we have one guitar just playing a full chord, just holding a big chord. In the right speaker, we have the other guitar playing the riff. So together, it really creates that full stereo spectrum, and that's what makes it sound so big. So let's check it out. So then about 9 seconds in, we have this monstrous drum fill that comes in, and then the groove really settles in. Let's hear those drums soloed. Massive drum sound, right? It sounds like he's playing inside the Grand Canyon. You can just hear like the reverb going on within the room, and everything just sounds so good. Very, very tight drumming. Let's hear that again. Add in the bass. Drums and bass are just locked in so perfectly. So I got to talk about this bass tone too. Let's hear just the bass by itself, because you know, we get a lot of comments about this bass tone in our recordings. Super in your face, super growly, very distorted, very compressed. So the first verse comes in around the 30-second mark, and this is when we first hear Andy singing in the song. And I feel like the lyrics and the melody are really beautiful, and they really work over top of the track. Let's hear what the verse sounds like. So in comparison to the intro, the song kind of tones down a bit in the verse, gives us a bit of a moment to breathe. And as I mentioned, I really do love the way Andy sings this. You know, the way he's delivering each word and the way his lines flow into one another. It just sounds so smooth. Let's hear these vocals by themselves.
Awake at night, you focus on everyone who's hurt you. And write a
Beautiful.
list of targets.
So also in the verse, I love what CeCe does on the drums. So he goes into this sort of tom beat that just really fills up the space there. Let's check it out. Right. George of the Jungle. So cool. Halfway through, he adds the cymbals. You know, brings it up a little bit. We got some cymbals creeping in there. Epic, right? I feel like I could listen to each of these isolated tracks on their own the whole way through the song and not get bored. All right, next let's look at the pre-chorus. So the pre-chorus is another perfect example that demonstrates the mastery that Jake and Jinx have in terms of creating those dual guitar parts that really, bring the songs together. You'll see here, it's just like we saw in the intro, where certain spots they'll branch off. One guy will play chords, the other guy will play the riff, and then they pair up and match up in certain spots, and it just weaves in and out of this beautiful chemistry of, you know, differences versus similarities, and they come back together at the perfect times. So let's check it out. So split, together, branched off again, back together. So we've got another great scream by Andy here happening throughout this section that really helps us soar into the chorus. You can hear it grow, right? You can hear it grow as it happens. All right, so before we dive into the chorus, I just want to quickly show you guys these shots that lead us into the chorus. The full band does them together. Here's what they sound like. And I also want to point out that there's this awesome little pinch harmonic thing happening in the guitars, which is great. Okay, so that takes us to the chorus. A lot happening here. So let's take a look at the full mix first, and then we're going to break it down. Okay, so one thing you might not have noticed, there's actually a really badass organ part happening underneath everything. It's fairly quiet in the mix, but here's what it sounds like. So hauntingly beautiful. Let's hear that with the vocals.
We are breathing while you're sleeping. Go and leave us alone.
Amazing, right? So next I want to show you the massive wall of guitar and bass that's happening here. And really what it does is it creates a platform for the vocals to sing over top. Now Andy's singing a really melodic, soaring passage here, and you know, that's really the main focus in the chorus, in my opinion. The guitars are just there to kind of create a bed that Andy can sing over top of. So it's a pretty simple part. Let's check it out. Very simple. Then we get this riff again. Then back to the wall. So, you know, we don't always have to play things very complicated, because if the melody in the vocals is doing something that's moving and taking up a lot of attention, oftentimes the guitars will lay back a bit. And that's what you see happening here. And the vocals definitely are very powerful here. Of course, Andy's got great control of his voice, and there's also a killer background vocal part that's happening too. So I'm going to play the lead vocal with the background vocals together, and you'll hear just how massive this chorus actually sounds vocally.
We are breathing while you're sleeping. Go and leave us alone.
Yeah. I love that. All right, that takes us to the breakdown. Now, what I love about the breakdown is that there's a bit of a pause before it to really set things up, creates a bit of tension. Then we have this massive shot on beat 4 that everyone in the band hits together, and then that launches us into the breakdown. Let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just boom. Sounds so heavy. And the drums just really go to town here. Let's check out the drums soloed. The reverb on that snare. Excellent fill. Now he gets real busy. That double kick's just hammering away. Yeah, great job, CC. I'm going to add the bass into that now so you can hear how well the drums and bass are locked in together. Super tight, right? And as what seems to be the constant theme of the song, we've got more amazing screams from Andy. Check out what he's doing here. Some echo happening, right? Really awesome, really well produced. Okay, now let's look at the guitar solo, and in classic Jake Pitts fashion, it is just a ripper. Check it out. So what's neat about this solo is that it's one of the few Black Veil Brides guitar solos that doesn't actually feature a dual guitar harmony, which is really one of the prominent sounds of the band, is the dual guitar solos, you know. But this is one of the few songs that doesn't. It just has one guitar, but it sounds great, and it definitely works perfectly, and it's hard to imagine things done any other way. So let's hear the track soloed, and then I'll add in the drums halfway through for a little context. Very clean. Yeah. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I got lots more content coming out soon, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss anything. Until next time, I'm Lonnie Eagleton. We'll see you in the next video.